Look at that bunching, though. 10 athletes. You could throw a big blanket over the whole pack. Oh, and another athlete clipped there from behind. And it was Georgia Bell, I think. Oh, no, and it's Zanoni who's gone down, the Italian.
Right now, and also the women's 1500 metres. So we're going to have 2 heats, and it will be the first 6 in each of those going through to the final. There is Ciara McGeehan of Ireland. Big hopes for her, of course. Silver medal behind Laura Muir, who isn't at these championships. So is this the opportunity for Ireland to take a gold medal? Sara Lapalainen, Neike Visto, Finnish national record holder, Olympic semi-finalist. Real breakthrough year for her that year. A couple of injuries to deal with since then. Cavalli of Italy, 4:01 at best. The experienced Esther Guerrero of Spain. So lots of athletes worth picking out here. There is Gemma Reekie, silver medal at the World Indoor Championships over 800, of course. Again, a big opportunity for her. She was a little bit disappointed with a silver medal in Glasgow, but that just shows you the quality athlete she is these days. And again, no disrespect to anyone, but the fact that Laura Muir isn't here is opening the doors, certainly for the likes of Reekie and McGeehan. And you would have to say that British and Irish athletes are looking quite strong in the women's 1500 metres in particular, when you've got the likes of Sarah Healy, Georgia Bell, Katie Snowdon all involved as well. And we'll see the second heat in a few moments' time. We've also got Elise van der Elst of Belgium, who won the European indoor title 3 years ago. A tall figure there in the white vest in the middle of the pack. Looks like Sara Lapalainen just leading out the field at this early stage. Sophia Enui making a move on the outside. Twice a medalist at these championships, silver in Berlin and then bronze in Munich. Only 4:04 so far this year. Really congested early on. Lapalainen, slightly reluctant leader here.
Yeah, looks relatively slow at the moment, doesn't it? This will suit the Brits perfectly here. Certainly, I think Gemma Reekie will be more than happy to use as little energy as possible here. She's in fabulous form over 800 with her 1:57 speed. She's a real danger in championship races over the metric mile. And of course, this is so different to what many of these athletes are used to, Alex. They're used to pacemakers on the Diamond League circuit, everything being laid out. Look at that, 68.8, almost 69 seconds that first lap. They're so used to quick pace-made races with predictable splits. This is where you have to run using your wits a little bit more.
Yeah, and interesting to consider, really. Gemma Reekie, we know she's worked a lot harder on her speed over the last couple of years, and whether 800 is her best distance. Of course, that's where she got that silver medal indoors. And yeah, I mentioned she was a little bit disappointed, but ultimately Sigrid Daguma seems to be a really top quality athlete, the Ethiopian. So in any case, she'll try and capitalize on the opportunity here. Guerrero of Spain, using her experience in a good position, 8 times Spanish champion outdoors, 4:03.72 this year in Ostrava. Cavalli tries to make a move. McGeehan in the middle of the pack there. Top 6, remember, going through to the final. Lapalainen actually finished really well in Kladno to beat Isabel Boffi, so another who could have a fast finish.
I'm glad, Alex, to see Reekie at the front. It was another slow second lap. 2:16.4 at 800 is about a 67.5 second lap after a 69-second first lap virtually. So you might as well stay out of trouble when it gets untidy and there's a lot of pushing and shoving in the middle of that pack. You might as well be out in front and clear of danger.
Gemma Reekie doing just that. Guerrero and Van der Elst, Lapalainen, Cavalli, all for company. 3:06.03 at the bell. Not a bad time for opening kilometre 5,000. So Riki still in the position that she wants to be in. Still, as ever, with that determined look in her face. Had to work really hard to adjust to a new setup, as has Laura Muir over the last couple of years.
Well, that 1200 time, Alex, 3:21 and 65.1. It still didn't really wind up much on the third lap. Riki in complete control now.
Guerrero still there. Let's have a look at this group of 7 athletes. So someone going to be unlucky here. Lapalainen on the inside and Garambe in the middle of this pack. Afonso on the outside. Lapalainen may just miss out now. Guerrero trying to do enough. Riki certainly has done enough. 4:06.69 on the clock as they pushed on the pace right at the end of that race. But safe passage through there for Gemma Riki and the 5 behind her.
You have to take the heat into account. It's a very, very warm day. I mean, you know, it's almost midday, the sun right up above. It's, what, about 28, 29 degrees centigrade here. And that was, will have been testing. Although I have to say, McGeehan and Riki looking very, very relaxed after that little run out in 4:06. They're both capable of going, well, frankly, around 10 seconds quicker than that. So they should be looking easy.
Yeah, sometimes when you have heat, semi-final and a final, you have kind of more of a chance to adjust to championship racing, especially reasonably early in the season. Just get a better idea of where your shape is at. But of course, these athletes, to a large extent, have prepared early in the season and have done more races. As Tim was saying, a number of those on the Diamond League circuit and elsewhere, World Continental Tour, like I was saying with Lapalainen, who had a good finish to beat Isabel Boffi in Kladno a couple of weeks ago. You can see here Lapalainen towards the back of this nice drone shot that rotates. Guerrero looking around, but yeah, we're talking about Riki, but Guerrero certainly put himself in the right spot, trying to stick to Riki for as long as possible. And sometimes when you know you have a quick athlete involved in your race, that is the best game plan.
Lapalainen then doesn't make it through. No fastest losers, of course, Alex, but her consolation 4:07, the season's best in 7th.
The time to meet the athletes for the second heat to the women's 1500.
Well, let's take a look at the second heat then of this women's 1500 metres. Georgia Bell goes on the outside for Great Britain from these 14 starters. There's Sarah Healy of Ireland. Great young athlete, Healy. She's really come on in leaps and bounds this last couple of years. And her lifetime best now, 3:59. That was in Budapest last year. Seitan of Norway, Vessel of Germany, Guillemot of France. Katie Snowden of Great Britain, well, she's a 3:56 performer. Hasn't broken 4 minutes yet this year, but Snowden, well, she's a very, very classy athlete, coached by Steve Haas in the USA. Part of a setup there where she has improved dramatically this last year or two. 8th in Budapest last year in under 4 minutes with 3:59. Does a bit of coaching herself, by the way, Snowden. Zenoni of Italy goes in this one too, of course. The Italian here will have to push hard. She's a 4:05 performer. That's her lifetime best earlier on this season. And on paper, an unlikely qualifier. Remember that qualifying conditions, top 6, and you go through to the final. You're 7th, that's it, gone. Fastest loser spots, or non-automatic qualifier spots, as we should say, do not exist anymore in the middle distances. And that's fair, I think, because the races can vary so much. It was always a bit of pot luck whether or not you had somebody who was prepared to front run and go hard in your heat and be dragged to a non-automatic qualifying spot. Well, that unfairness, if you like, has gone now. So 3 3/4 laps of the track, then 14 athletes in this field. I wonder if anybody will take it out hard, although as I say, the pace now doesn't matter so much. It's not a decisive factor like it used to be. Just over this last year or so, the world governing body has adopted a policy of, and European athletics have slotted in with that, of not having any non-automatic qualifiers. No fastest losers, as we used to say in Old English. It is a top 6. You're either in or you're out. Nice and easy to understand, and everybody knows what's going on in each of the 2 races in isolation. No advantage by being in a second or latter qualifying race. But this looks to be on the slow side. The 2 Brits well positioned there. Alex on the outside, Snowden and Bell.
Yeah, it'd be fascinating really to know what their mentality is going into this. Obviously, Georgia Mel just missed out on a medal at the World Indoors, and that was bittersweet because...
Oh, a faller.
I think it might have been one of the Italians there. Certainly it was a blue vest that fell. Auerbach is the Israeli, I believe. But yes, Snowden and Bell. Bell making her debut, senior championship debut for Great Britain after a couple of years out of the sport, quite a few years in fact, without having a full season in athletics. She dabbled in triathlon, but this great comeback, if you like, story for a former champion at schools level. And Katie Snowden as well, a great talent, and just maybe she sees this as an opportunity to get a gold medal, but also an element of uncharted territory, although they're both relatively experienced athletes between them. Sarah Healy, someone whose times have been getting very, very impressive. 3:59 personal best, 4:02 this year. Of course, coached by Trevor Painter and Jeddy Meadows in the UK.
Well, that first 400 metres, desperately slow. I didn't actually get the mark, but they come through with 2 laps to run. Nobody yet prepared to take it on. In a slow race like this, you've got to be near the front. If you're towards the back of the field, when you know that there's going to be a burn-up over the last 300, 500, 600, whatever it may be, you have got to have extra speed. You've got to do a sort of double whammy. You've got to make up the ground between yourself and the leaders and get past them. And that's tough. So to me, there's a naivety in a slow race like this, unless you are a superior athlete, and you know that well before the race. There's naivety to being towards the back of the field, and they come down now. And still, Snowden looking comfortable there. Bell on her shoulder running a smart race as well. Moving down the outside is Damink of the Netherlands, tall figure there, but she's still towards the back. Auerbach, the Israeli who fell, and there may be an appeal off that. They'll have to have a look at the footage. Is towards the back, her number flapping around, it got torn off with the fall, but she's had to make up a lot of ground to get back with them, and surely left a picture, she will suffer. The pole has been allowed a free run here. Gallant all the way through to the Bell as they come through now. It has picked up this last few hundred metres. 3:12 at the Bell. The 1200 split, sorry, the Bell split in the previous race was 3:21. 3:06 actually, excuse me. That was the 1200 point. Here they come to 3 laps done. There's still the pole at the front. Prochinska running a really smart race. It's Prochinska, not Gallant at the front. Look at that bunching though. 10 athletes. You can throw a big blanket over the whole pack. Oh, and another athlete clipped there from behind. And it was Georgia Bell, I think. Oh no, and it's Zanoni has gone down the Italian. What a shame. But it's always going to be the case in slow, meandering races like this. Bell badly boxed there behind Snowden. The Briton stayed out of trouble throughout. Prochinska's run a smart race on the inside, although she's losing the legs now. And moving down the outside is the French athlete looking really strong. That's Guillemot. Guillemot going to take it from Snowden. Bell in third. Well, the 2 Brits in second and third in any case, and the winning time, well, considerably slower than the first race. What an untidy race that was, and what a shame. It's always going to be the case. Championship racing is such a different affair to racing on the commercial circuit. Diamond Leagues and World Athletics Continental Tour, gold, silver, bronze races. Usually there's pacemakers. There are not here. 4:11.92, a comfortable win there by Agatha Guillemot, who is a 4:02 athlete. She looked really impressive, but that time is slow. And let's confirm those qualifiers for you. Taking a little while to come through because so many of them came through the line together. But Guillemot and Bell and Snowden, yeah, it was Bell and Snowden, the finishing order of the Brits in second and third. Sarah Healy, 4th, she goes through okay. Prochinska, who led most of the race, in 5th. She goes through, and that precious 6th qualifying spot, Marta Perez of Spain, 4:12.63, and the rest of them just missing out. It's a real game of chance, isn't it, when it is so tactical and you've got 10 athletes coming around the final bend like that, Alex?
Yes, we can see the initial fall there from the Israeli hour back earlier in the race, and then Zanoni here, Georgia Bell doing well to stay on her feet, but 2 athletes in fact fell, Vesel of Germany and Zanoni. Frustrating for her. She did get back up and finish the race, but Gilmo coming through on the inside. As you said, she's had a good season, improved to 4:02 this year. Bell and Snowden ensure of their passage through to the final. Sarah Healy behind them, but chaos at some points during that.
Yep, it's about racing and using your wits, and if you stay back behind the pack in a slow race, you are putting yourself in danger of exactly that happening. People pushing and shoving and stumbling and knees and elbows everywhere. Well, there's the result of the second heat. Guillemot taking the win, 4:11.92, but it's the first 6 places, not the times that matter. Bell, Snowden, Healy, Kloczinska and Perez, and Sasinak Maki of the Czech Republic just missing out.